Hi everyone, I'm Dwight Schmuck. I used to be on YouTube under the name The Schmuck Look. Last year I had some real health issues, but doggone it, God don't want me, the devil's scared. I'm back. Thank you, Roy Rogers and Aerosmith, but I'm back. Here we go. And today, as I get back and, what the heck, start this out, ought to start it out local. I'm kind of pissed off at the local school board and the superintendent of schools and the police chief. And the reason here is, they really are crying about getting in. Here we are in Wilmington, Vermont, Whitingham area, Dover area. We've got a couple hundred kids in the middle school and high school all together. They graduate 30 or 40 every year. Big time school district. Oh yeah, major league problems. They want to put in a school safety resources officer. A cop with a gun and a badge because, oh hell, we just got to be scared of everything these days, don't you know? The world's such a scary place. At the last school board meeting, the superintendent was sniffling again about not being allowed to have the school safety resource officer because there were 74 shootings in the U.S., in 2013, 2014. And this guy's obviously educated way beyond his intelligence because this poor old dumb hick guy, me, living way back here in the boonies and not being out there in the real world, educated and everything. Well, I Googled it up, and those statistics start in January of 2013, so that makes it 18 months, not 12. Skew the statistics, but don't tell anybody, so you get what you want. And, the police chief is in, oh yeah, this is a really good idea, because then his budget goes up, and his municipal power then likewise goes up, because, well, he's important now, too. He's got this extra officer, etc., ad nauseum. Oh yeah. And I don't own a business, I don't own property, it wouldn't be my taxes, so what do I care, right? Wrong. I rent, and let's say they have to raise taxes to support this extra expenditure. Well, my landlord, his property taxes will go up. Guess who he passes it on to? And I'm on Social Security disability. And fortunately, this comes along with, the idea that I'm paying for the internet, so it's no big deal. It doesn't cost me extra to do this yet. So I get to do it, and that really is pissing off some powerful people. They want to make this a paper-page thing, which would screw guys like me who come out there to people like you who just aren't real satisfied with being slaves. Darn us anyway. It's a damn shame here, though, because you got people, like I said, educated way beyond their intelligence, trying to pull fast ones by breeding fear and sucking up the money that fear causes. I'm old, I'm fat, I'm disabled, and I'm tired of it now. I ain't scared. It's time to put some sanity back in here, folks. You want to spend $36,000 in school, get some friggin' books. Make the kids read. Don't have some guy stomping up and down the halls or little Lightfooting it up and down the halls, wearing a badge and a gun, being an authority because, well, in those 74 shootings, and we're even going to talk about, some of those, there were no injuries and no deaths, the gun went off, biggie deal, but it was a shooting over 18 months. You had 74 of them in the whole country. You got any idea how many schools there are, public schools? Over 98,000. So you had, and I'm not, arguing the idea that each one of them's a tragedy, shouldn't have happened at all. I get that. But when you've got 74 incidences in over 98,000, then times however many days those schools were open, it suddenly becomes, well, you probably have a better chance of getting hit by lightning while laying underneath your bed. Work on it. Do the math here. There's a whole lot of people sucking up a lot of money just because they know how to scare you. They know how to scare you because they went to school. And I'll tell you, you ought to be scared. You ought to give me some money for safety's sake. And I'm going to come back here to Wilmington, Vermont. One more thing here. You really want to save some money? Cancel the buses. Those school buses go every day all over the place and come back to the school empty because Mom and Dad are spending quality time toting little Susie and little Johnny to school. Well, Mom and Dad, it's time you thought about it too. If that's your quality time, you ain't got it because your eyes ought to be on the road, not looking at Johnny in the back seat, in the car seat. Think about it. We provide school buses that go out of the garage on their route back to the school who are empty, or they'll have 2 kids on them. That's a lot of money being spent. You got insurance, you got to pay the drivers, you got maintenance, you got licensing, and it's not cost effective. Meanwhile, you've got traffic bottlenecked at the schools because this is the quality time. And, you know, little Johnny gets to see how irritated Mom and Dad can get. This is a good idea. How? Work on it, people. Let's do some math. You gotta think. You really gotta think. If that's your quality time, you ain't got any. And are you just parroting a phrase you heard somebody with a lot of letters after his name say? Think about it. Just because they got a lot of letters doesn't mean anything. Anybody can put loads of letters behind their name. It really doesn't mean they know anything, but I'll bet you 10 to 1, any amount you want. I ain't got a lot of money, but I will bet you they know how to scare you. It's how they keep in business. It's why they get as much as they get, because they know how to scare you. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's going to be it for today. Think about it. Let me know what you think. Y'all have a great day now. Peace.